This is the WEN Quiet 6800-watt dual fuel RV-ready electric start portable inverter generator with fuel shutoff and CO Watchdog model DF680iX. Just looking at it, you can see it's got a pretty modern, compact design with closed sides that really help keep things quieter. I'll talk about that more in a minute, but trust me, if you're worried about noise, this one's made to be less disruptive whether you're using it at home or out camping. It's also not too bulky considering the features packed inside, but at about 95 pounds, it's not the lightest thing either. For me, moving it around isn't too tough thanks to the wheels and the telescopic handle, but if you're not used to lifting heavier equipment, you might want a hand getting it into your truck or RV. Setting it up the first time, I had that usual hesitation when you unbox something with so many features, but WEN really made it straightforward here. You get the generator itself, some clear instructions, a funnel for the oil, and even the 6-foot propane hose with a quick connect. This quick connect design makes using propane a breeze. You just pop it on, almost like connecting an air hose, and you're set. For anyone who's new to generators, dual fuel means you can run this machine either on regular gasoline or on propane from your standard barbecue tank. It's a massive plus, especially during emergencies, when one fuel might be easier to find than the other. Adding oil is easy, but one thing to note from my experience, it actually ships with no oil, and the first fill is just a little under the full capacity. So after breaking it in, you'll need to top it off with a bit more 10W30 oil. The side doors pop open with just a twist of 2 tabs, so you're not stuck fiddling around. And when it comes to connecting the battery for electric start, it's really just plugging 2 connectors together. No complicated wiring. For controls, it's all laid out on one panel in front. There's a big, clear digital display, which shows what you're pulling power-wise, how many hours it's run, and other info at a glance. The voltage selection switch lets you pick between 120 and 240 volts, so no matter what you need to run, RV, power tools at a job site, or even as backup for home essentials, it's got you covered. For electric vehicles, it's nice for its bonded neutral 240-volt output, which basically means you can do low power charging for electric or hybrid vehicles. Key features that stood out to me are the electric start, the fuel shutoff, and the CO Watchdog sensor. The electric start is a real lifesaver, especially if you're using it in cold weather or if you just don't like yanking the cord. It does have a pull start as backup if the battery is drained. The fuel shutoff is great for maintenance because it lets the engine run until the carburetor is dry when you're done using gas. Definitely helps with those tricky starting issues you get when old gas clogs things up. As for the CO Watchdog, that's basically a carbon monoxide sensor that will automatically shut off the generator if it detects dangerous levels. That's a huge peace of mind if you have family or pets around, or if you're not always outside keeping an eye on things. For outlets, I counted a hefty mix, a 30-amp 120/240V port, a dedicated RV plug, standard household outlets, plus a 12-volt DC port and USB chargers for your phones or tablets. You even get the grounding nut in case you need extra safety for sensitive gear. There's Eco Mode too, which is a button that adjusts the engine speed to only use as much power as you need. So if you're just charging devices, it runs quiet and saves on fuel. On that note, this thing's noise rating is around 64 decibels, and honestly, I've run it during the day and late at night, and it's never gotten complaints, even from my neighbor who's quick to let me know when something's too loud. It's not silent, but compared to traditional generators, it feels way calmer. What about performance? When I tested it on gasoline, it easily started my fridge, freezer, Wi-Fi, and a couple of lights during a power outage, with plenty of power left over. Switching to propane took just a few moments, and the output held steady. Even with larger loads, the digital display keeps you updated on current draw, so it's easy to make sure you're not overloading breakers. With inverter technology, the power coming out is a clean sine wave, so it's safe for laptops, TVs, all those sensitive electronics that cheaper generators might fry. This is a big deal, especially if you're using it for work equipment or want to charge up everything without worry. Speaking of runtime, at half load, I got just about 6 hours on a tank of gas and almost 9 on propane. That's enough to get you through most evenings without refilling, but if you need all-day power, you'll probably need to refuel at some point. I personally hoped for a bit more, but in exchange, you're getting that cleaner, quieter operation, which felt worth it in my case. Maintenance is simple. though I do recommend checking the oil regularly, especially if you're using it for long stretches. WEN also includes a basic toolkit, a funnel, and a propane hose, which means you can get going pretty much right out of the box. From my experience, portability is a big win here. With the telescoping handle and sturdy wheels, you can easily roll it over grass, concrete, or gravel, and the handle tucks neatly back in. I've used it both at home and hauling out to campsites, and it never felt like a hassle to bring. There are a couple areas I think WEN could improve. There's no remote start, so you'll need to walk over to turn it on or off every time. I occasionally wish the fuel tank was a bit larger for longer run times, but honestly, with that dual fuel option, it's easy to swap tanks or refill if you're prepared. At nearly 95 pounds, it's on the heavier side for one person, but if you need this kind of power, it's right in the expected range. In my opinion, it's perfect for anyone looking for a solid, easy-to-use generator for backup power at home, camping, tailgating, or even for light electric vehicle charging. It's user-friendly enough even if you're not super technical, and the clean power makes it safe for all your devices. If you're just getting started with generators, the clear instructions and thoughtful design cut down the intimidation. And for experienced users, you'll appreciate things like eco mode, multiple fuel options, and the range of outlets.